Welcome friends, this is Cindy Santos and we're here for Power Circuit. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Let's get started with a warm-up and then we'll hit all of our exercises. We have a series of 11 exercises tonight and we're going to be doing 3 rounds. Each one will be 1 minute 40 seconds. Woo, we're going to burn. And it is a full body workout. Please remember I do show variations, so pick what works for you. You can use dumbbells, bands for some of the exercises, or if you have water bottles or if you made weights out of grocery bags and potatoes, that's perfectly fine too. Let's get started with our warm-up. Let's have some fun. Got our little timer here. I love this timer. It's fantastic. All right, so we are ready and go. Okay, let's go ahead and start with a nice little sumo squat. Knees out to the side, arms right here, down and up, down and up. I just want to warm this up. So my hips are coming back, arms are coming around in a nice circle. Ooh, I hope you feel good today. Nice. Don't worry about coming down too low right now. We're just warming it up, right? Good. You've got it. Just a little bit more. 4, 3. Good. 2. Now, keep going with the squat, but change the arms. I'm going to reach forward and back. Start engaging the shoulders and your back. Okay? So I'm sitting back. Come up and squeeze. Good. Squeeze your glutes, squeeze your thighs, your core, mid back, upper back, shoulders. You got it. 2 more, 2 more. 1 more. Good. Okay, side to side. Take it out. And it's just a shallow lunge. I'm not going down that far. I'm stepping out. Loading, step out, side to side. A little bit of a bicep curl and a little swing back with the arms. That's all I'm doing. Good. Now when I do this little bicep curl, I want to start engaging my biceps, engaging my triceps. Little lateral move here. We want to move in all different planes, which means forward, to the side, back. And that way we'll get a much better workout, getting some variation in our movements, planes of motion, changing our range of motion, going from lower squats, shallow squats, etc. Get a nice workout. All right, let's go ahead and do skiers, side to side. I'm just tapping side to side for now. Come down a little bit more so knees are soft. Let's go ahead and pull the tummy in. I want you to pull that tummy in and hold it tight. So imagine that your belly button is coming back towards your spine. Good. And let's just move the arms forward and back. Good. This will help elevate the heart rate just a little bit. And start working the glutes, right back in here, that entire hip girdle, laterally from the side. And this little sit, load, and push off is going to engage the quadriceps a little bit more, the hamstrings, and your glute region. So all of those areas will be warmed up and primed for this, with this one warm-up exercise. Now I want to come up and then down a little bit more, up and down, load a little bit more. And I'm not making this very explosive. I'm not doing a big jump. It's just a little hop over reach. Now change the arms, forward and back. Forward and back. Good. Loosen up those shoulders. And if you'd like, you can also reach it up. Now this workout is going to take the entire time. So if you only have 45 to 60 minutes, please make sure that you stretch on your own, okay? We will be doing a stretch at the end, but if you have to cut out early, please make sure that you stretch on your own. You cool down and stretch on your own. All major muscle groups, so chest, back, shoulders, and legs. And glutes, of course, because we always get good glute work. Almost there. All right, okay, so I'm going to take this lunge side to side and punch. Keep the arms up. You got it. And I'll be changing the punches. We just want to go about 1 minute and 40 side to side, keeping the heart rate up. But with this move here, I'm doing a little rotation with the core, little rotation with the hip, And I'm focusing on engaging my shoulders. Keep those elbows up. Good. And it's not a big power punch, but I am punching and pulling back. So I'm pulling the arm back to the ribs. That's going to help loosen up and prime those shoulders for all of our exercises today. Good. Punch, pull back. Good. Now take it down. I'm coming down just a little bit more. I pull the elbow up and down. Good. You got it. I like this one too. Don't forget about your tummy. Try to engage it as much as you can. Now let's get a hook. Around, around. And you can slow this down. You don't have to go this fast. That way you can get each movement. And when I'm moving side to side, I pretty much stay on the ball of the foot, but I am allowing my heel to come a little bit lower. So it's not quite a full foot, but I do feel like my calf, Achilles, my feet are kind of stretching out. You can also take this back if you want. Good. Woo, a little bit more core, right? Take it around. Good, you've got this. Now let's change this to an uppercut with a little tap back. As we move through with all of the exercises, I'll show variations. You pick what's right for you, okay? You got it, you got it. Okay, side to side, single-legged squat. I'm gonna take this out and then up. I just want you to sit to the side and then come up. Good. You've got it. So when I do this, I need to bend my knee and push the tailbone back. Imagine that there is a little stool behind you or a small chair, and you're coming down to sit on it, okay? And then you just change your mind, come back up. You can cross the arms here. You'll engage a little bit more core. And just remember, imagine that you have shoelaces or that you're knitting or crocheting your ribs together. So the movement is crunch tight. It's not like breathe up. I'm not breathing up. I'm crunching in and pulling my belly button in. You keep going with those side to sides. Good. Ooh, that feels good. One more. I'm gonna slow this down now, okay? I want you to take the leg back and reach. Almost like a warrior one. So my heel does come down, and I am opening up the hip flexors. This is a wonderful dynamic stretch. I want you to reach those arms up and take that heel and just lightly press it onto the floor. Okay, it's just very light. Good. Woohoo! Good, now I'm gonna reach out and bring it in. So palms out, and then I just tap my hips. And I'm leading with those elbows, so squeeze your elbows in, yeah? We're almost there, friends. We're almost done with our warm-up. Probably about 8 minutes, which is good. Good, okay, shake it out. All right. We're going to do a little deadlift with a scapular retraction, which just means I'll pull my shoulder blades back. So I'm gonna start here, and all I wanna do is slide my hands to my knees, and my back is nice and flat. I'm gonna come up, and then I just want you to squeeze your shoulders and squeeze your buns. So soften the knees, up, and squeeze your buns, squeeze your thighs, squeeze your core, squeeze your shoulders. Ready? Down and lift. Now, I'll start to come up to the toes about halfway. That's all I want to do. Here and squeeze. I'm not rounding. I'm flat, okay? Nice and flat. Squeeze. This is good. This is good. You've got this. Squeeze. Now I'll come up to the toes. Woo. I was squeezing a little too much. I thought I was going to fall forward. Yay! Hi, Carolina. How are you? So good to see you. Hi, Liz. Now I'll come down and reach it up. I hope you're feeling fantastic today. Got lots of energy for you. And I'm not trying to stretch real big here. That's why my knees are soft, and I'm only coming to about the bottom of my knees, or maybe even my shins, but I'm not really going more than that. But this is just a nice dynamic stretch. Oh, that feels good. Almost there. Now take your hands behind, open up, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Kick those heels back. And we're going to get started with our very first exercise. It's a squat with a curl, okay? So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Grab your dumbbells. Whatever you have for resistance. All right. Squat and a curl. I'll turn to the side, either shallow, one arm, and then the other arm, or both arms. So you can start now. Go ahead and start. I'm just showing you your variations for the squat. So you do not have to come down low. You can do a nice shallow squat. So all you would do is soften your knees and stick your booty back. And then squeeze it in and curl, okay? Now let's just say that you are couch bound because you just don't want to get up. That's okay. I get you. What you can do is squeeze your biceps, the front of your arms. Just follow the arm movement and then squeeze your tush while you're sitting down, okay? Now, if you can power this up a little bit more, I want you to come down a little bit lower, knees behind the toes, and sitting back. If you need to power this up more, you can do a double squat. So, down, halfway, down, up, then curl. This is really going to work the glutes and your quads a lot more, okay? So you're welcome to do this and up. My feet are not really wide like a sumo squat. They're just at the shoulders or outside of the shoulders. When you come up all the way, you are going to squeeze your buns real tight and squeeze your core, okay? And I'm going to single it out. Whew. I really like these. Okay. Next one is a loaded lunge. It just means that I'm going to lean forward a little bit more into that front leg. You can do this as a tap back or as a full lunge, and I'll show you both. Let me move this. So as a tap back, I'll come down, tap my foot, squeeze the buns and core, and row. Then come up straight. Lean forward a little bit, tap back, row, then come up straight. I'll do just a few more like this. If you'd like, you can come down into your full lunge like this. Here, lift, and stand. Back, lift, and stand. So my shoulders lower down as I come down into that lunge. Then I push up through that heel and glute, and I stand all the way up, and my spine is upright. I'm not leaning forward anymore. So this push is going to come up the back of the leg, okay? So here, put the pressure into the heel, push up and squeeze. Good. And only come down as far as you feel comfortable. This requires you to really hold on with your core. So if you prefer to do one arm at a time, you can always do one arm, then come up. It's a little bit less pressure. If you prefer to stay more upright and row, that's fine too, okay? So I'm using my leg for support. I am pushing against the ground while I'm holding here. Good, you got it. Woo, one more. All right. Okay, so now I'll do 2 curtsy lunges and then 2 squats with press-ups. So, my curtsy lunge, you can hold your weights here if you want. They're not resting on me. They can if you need them to, but they're not resting on me. Curtsy, 1, or tap back, 2. Now here's my squat. 1, press it up. Squeeze your buns and your core when you do this. 2. Curtsy, either leg, it doesn't matter. 1 and 2. Now, first round is fine, but if you start to fatigue in that second round with these, you can do one arm at a time. You can also do just one dumbbell. That's perfectly fine. So always go with what feels right for you. Whew. Up. And nice and controlled. We don't want to fall into our squat or curtsy. Control. Load that muscle. Load it up. So watch the difference. I don't want to do that. Load, push and squeeze, lift, curtsy. So by holding the weights away from my body, they're not really far, they're just not resting on me. So if they're not resting on my body, my arms and my core, my upper back, they all have to hold, they have to stabilize. So I'm working overtime here. And I even feel the biceps and the triceps. So when I get around to that squat with a press up, man, those muscles are already sweating it out. Woo! Just back a little bit. Okay, so next up, I like this, walkout push-up. We're ready. You're gonna walk this out, and then you can hold a plank, or you can do a push-up on your knees or your toes. So take it up, walk it out, and down. Walk it back up. Back is nice and flat. Tummy is pulled in. And soften your knees. You can soften your knees to come down. You can soften your knees to come up. Come nice and flat into that plank. And then you can either hold a plank or you can do a push-up. That's up to you. You can also come down to the knees. You don't even have to do every one. You can hold your plank. You can stretch. These are good. And hold that tummy tight the entire time. We've got this, friends. The push-up is great for the entire body. It's good for your arms, your chest, even your back, because your back is holding your body. It's keeping you in a nice straight line. It's supporting all the muscles. Your core, your glutes, your thighs. So you want to activate. When I'm coming down and I'm in this plank, I lightly squeeze the thighs and the buns. And then that gives me just a little bit more work. Woo! Okay, so the next one, side-to-side squat with a burpee. And I'm going to use these dumbbells, but I put them down for the burpee, okay? So I'm going to take it to the side for a side squat, single-legged squat. 1, 2, like in our warm-up, put it down, and then walk it out to a burpee, or you can hop it out. Look up, your butt is down, your chin is up, and then push through your legs, okay? So try to make sure that the chest and the chin come up first. So sit down like a frog, come down, come back up, chin, chest, and then look where your dumbbells are so they don't roll away from you. And then go. And take your time, we have plenty of time with this. My back is nice and flat. I'll turn to the side. So I do lower down, but my back is nice and flat. I lower down, step it out, step it back in, lift the chin, and then come up. Side, side, and burpee. You're almost there. You can always do these without weights too. That's perfectly fine. Don't think that you have to do anything with the weights if you don't have them, or if you're just not up to it today. One more. Woo! Okay. Next. Yes! So we're going to do a double lunge, warrior 3, row. I know it's a lot, but we can do it. So you are either going to tap back or lunge back. Then you will shift your weight forward and either keep the leg here soft and give me 2 rows, or you can lift the leg and give me 2 rows. Come back down, double lunge, stop. Warrior 3, 1, 2. Now, when I come down, my weight drops right down through the middle, but my front leg is loaded a little bit more. I'm not really trying to use that back leg to absorb the weight. It's just there for balance. My front leg wants to take most of the weight. When I finish with that double, I come up here and I pause and I shift my weight forward, then I lift. That heel comes up at the same time as the shoulders come down. Switch sides, double. 1, 2, up, lean forward, pull, and pull. If you want to do one arm at a time, you can hold on to a chair. You would hold onto the chair with one arm and have the dumbbell in the other arm, or go dumbbell free, and then just go through the motions. Good. So try to feel the weight in that heel on that standing leg. Try not to just hold with your toes. It's very common, I do it sometimes too, but I really want to feel the power coming through the heel and then the ball of my foot, okay? Ooh. Woo. Okay. Tricep, sumo, tricep. So, I'm going to tricep right here. 8, 7, 6, 5, elbows back. 4, squeeze, not swing. 3, 2, 1, come up, sumo. Knees are wide, hips come back, and then squeeze up and in. 3, 4. We don't drop into this, we sit into this. 5, 6, 7, 8. Triceps. So we want to squeeze, no swing. 2, 3, 4, 5. Elbows back. 6, 7, 8. Step out nice and wide outside the shoulders, and then I sit. So when I come down, my knees are pointing towards the side of the room, so are my toes, but my knees are over my feet, okay? Don't stick your feet so far out there. They look like a little pyramid, okay? Should be more like a narrow triangle, I would say. One more. Use that core. Inch it in first. Push. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm going to pulse this. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. That's how we're going to do it. 2, 1. Woo! Set these down, grab a mat. Side plank reach. Okay, so I am going to come down to the knee first and hand. Take your hand and just tap the floor and then come back up to your hip. Tap the floor, come back up. I want you to squeeze your tummy when you come down, okay? Now an alternative would be to have a hand here, forward and back. So start here, and then I'll come up to the foot, okay? So I just want this to be in a nice line. My elbow is stacked underneath my shoulder. My hand is there for support. And then I'm going to come to the feet. Tap down and up. You can touch the floor. You don't have to have that elbow. You can put your full hand on the floor and then come back up. And now let's switch sides. Woo. Ready? Either way. I love these. Nice and steady. So pause and pause. Pause and pause. And I'm really engaging the back of the shoulders too. I'm squeezing my upper back and mid back and shoulder to pull that arm back. This is great work for your entire core, but primarily your obliques. They run along your sides. Keep the buns squeezed lightly. One more. Good. Woo. Okay, so now come to the ground. It's going to be 6 diagonal knees and 6 reverse crunch. So hip lifts. Hands lightly behind the head. Now, let's go ahead and lightly press your low back into the ground. Pull in your belly button, and you're going to lift the knees. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Hands on your mat. Low back into the ground. Raise your legs up. Just do a thigh squeeze to your tummy. Ready? Roll back and tap. Roll back and tap. So don't worry about how high you come up. I want you to focus more on squeezing your abdomen and rolling your hips back. That's all I want you to focus on. Now, if you've been doing these and your abs are used to these, you can take the feet up and imagine that you're trying to tap something up, a spot on the ceiling. You're trying to reach it. Not behind you. It's not this. This is not a hip lift. This is throwing your legs. This is using your core. I don't like bringing my legs straight up because it really bothers my back. So I just tap and here. And when I tap, I really don't put weight on the floor. I'm just kind of hovering and holding, and then I do a light tap on the heel, and then I come back up. Ugh. I always feel these, but I do love them. Whew. Roll it up. Okay, we have to start all over again. Ready? Squat curl. Now, let's just say we're moving along. You feel good. And then you're like, wow, my gosh, I don't know if my legs are going to make it. Okay. Hey, just do the arms. That's okay. Or let's just say your arms aren't going to make it. Do the legs. If you need a full break, I would say take one of the exercise blocks for the 1 minute 40 seconds and the break. I would say go ahead and use that, march in place, do a light stretch. Don't hold deep stretches. Do some dynamic stuff like when we were doing our warm-up, and then get back to the drills when you can. So my feet are just at the hips or slightly outside. I sit back, and when I come up, I'm squeezing as hard as I can. Okay? Tummy in, squeeze. And I'm not just squeezing the buns. I'm also giving a squeeze to my thighs. Okay? Let's see who's here today. Whew. Michaela, yay! Whew. I hope you're all feeling good. Paula, hey! It's so good to see you here. I see you all. Sherry! You know, it's so nice to see everyone here. I really appreciate it. I do prefer the Facebook Live over the Zoom, though, because when you're doing the Zoom, I think that the little blocks can become very, very distracting. And then if somebody does something differently, I'll probably start doing what you're doing. And then we won't be doing the workout anymore. Oh my gosh. Hey, Jamie! Woo! Yes, squeeze. Okay. Hey, Jamie, get those ankle weights on, girl. Okay, loaded lunge with the row. If you have a different set of weights with you, right now is the time to start loading up. You can go a little bit heavier. Ready? And up and squeeze. Lunge, row, and up. So I'm stepping back, loading that front leg, rowing, and then pulling myself up with the back of the thighs and the glutes. I even feel some quadricep here when I'm pulling up in the initial part, but then when I come up halfway to the end, that's when I really feel the back of the legs and the glutes and core taking over. So in my descent, I feel the entire lower body and the core. Here, a little bit of quad, then the whole back side. Down, row. And I'm pulling the weights to like rib hip, okay? Right around that area. Not up to my shoulders. Rib and hip. Back is nice and flat, chest is proud, and I'm pulling, elbows back, shoulder blades are squeezing. Nice and strong. Do you have to come this low? No. You can do lunges, stop, and then do your rows. I love this workout. This is a good one. 10 seconds. We're tough, baby. Oh my gosh, I just thought of something. Woo! For the next workout. Just came to me. Just came to me. Those of you that take class with me know about my ideas. Huh. Okay. Curtsy. 2 curtsies, 2 squats with a press. Ready? You can hold them here. They can either rest on your shoulders or not. 1, 2. Okay, ready? Squat. And up. Remember, strength, steady movements. My feet are just outside the hips. They're not too wide and they're not too narrow. Push through that foot. I'm not lifting with my back. What I'm doing is I'm pushing up through the feet and squeezing the glutes. And my core, and my arms. Everything, just squeeze it off. 1. Yeah, those squats get a little tough with your weights up here. And remember, you can put one down at any time, friends. Almost 19 seconds. Whew.
10 seconds.
I'm gonna feel it, friends, but I love it. So remember, the next one, we come down to the ground. Woo. Okay, let's get back here. Walk out, push up. Okay, bend your knees, round, come down. Little hands, okay? I'm not taking big steps out with my hands. And then push up and walk back. And I'm pushing through with my palms. My elbows are soft, but I feel that power coming up towards the chest and shoulders and core, okay? So I flatten out first, then I push up, keeping the core tight. And I'm not dropping into that push-up fast because I'm really trying to get stronger. So I'm not doing a pump push-up. I'm really focusing on my core, my balance, my triceps engaging, everything. I'm really trying to focus on that power. So I'm maximizing my squeezes. I'm squeezing my thighs, the buns, the core. Everything. I'm just squeezing everything. This is like one of those everything squeezers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's taking me about 7 to 8 hands to get up and down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If you're taller than me, you're taller than 5'2", it might take you an extra hand or 2 or 3, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. My water's handy, so I'm gonna grab some water. Woo. Okay. Side squat with a burpee. I'm gonna hold one dumbbell for this, a heavier one. I'd rather do that. I feel like it's a lot better to do the side squat than having to worry about the dumbbells knocking my knees out. Set it down, burpee. Now, let's say you don't want to come up and down. Do like maybe 8 of these. Each side counts as 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then maybe hold a plank. Okay? Hold a plank for 20 seconds. 10 seconds. and then come up. So I would say instead of jumping in, out, and up, go ahead and separate the movement. Do these single-legged squats side to side for a little bit, and then hold a plank. Or stretch.
Halfway there.
1, 2. I even like this better for my core. I feel more core work when I hold the dumbbell right here and I can come to the sides. So I change up the exercises from time to time, so feel free. I'm just trying to get in enough variation so everybody can get their workout. 22 seconds. Now, when you come out side to side, I really want you to feel that core trying to keep you straight. I don't mean vertical. I mean that your spine isn't leaning. I'm not leaning, tipping over. So that core has a lot to do with it. We don't want to lean and then up and lean. We want to stay in line with the body. Double lunge, warrior. Woo! Okay, here we go. Remember these, you can tap back, come down, row, come up and squeeze. Tap back, down, row, come up and squeeze. I'm going to do one more, then I'll change it. Tap, row, up and squeeze, or double lunge. 1, 2, hold it, forward. 1 or 2 rows. Down, lunge, up. If you can transition, go ahead. If you want to do 1 row or 2, or 1 lunge or 2, that's up to you. I kind of switch it up.
Halfway there.
1, 2. You can also bring the foot together. 1, 2, warrior 3, and switch sides. So lunge or tap, come up, row, and stand. Down, 1, 2, up, warrior 3, row, and up. I'm gonna face forward now. 1, 2, up, row, and down. I like these. 1, 2, up, row, and down. Woo! Okay, next one. Tricep. Ooh, this is the one we really like. Ready? 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Sumo. Hold your weights however you want. 8. You can also pull. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So you can pulse or not. That's up to you. 8, 7, 6. You can alternate your arms too. 5, 4. One arm at a time. 3, 2, 1. Come into that sumo. Feet are wider, toes are out to the side, knees are out to the side. I sit back and I come up and squeeze. Sit back, come up and squeeze. Sit back, up and squeeze. Tricep. 8, 7, 6. Flat back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sumo. Three. Tailbone down and back. And 1. Okay, side plank oblique reach. All right, friends. Mat side plank on the elbow. You can be on the knee or the feet. Just make sure that everything's in line. And you can tap the floor and come up. Tap the floor and come up. Forward. Keep the hand by your ear. And bring the elbow down. That's up to you. Just give it a pause at each pose. So pause, 1, 2. Pause, 1, 2. Keep the hips squeezed. This is in a nice line, okay? Everything is stacked in a line. Shoulders over the elbow. My hand is just down for support. I feel that shoulder blade squeezing back. And remember, you can touch the floor. You don't even have to leave the hands off the floor. You can keep touching the floor and switch. Woo. Oh my. I'm just laying on the side of my foot, on the side of my shoe. You can do these on the knee, so you can come right here or here. The key is to come back up flat. Okay, so you're in a panini press or in a toaster right here. Oh, okay, 6 diagonal knee, 6 reverse crunch. So, alternating. Ready? Set. Low back is lightly pressed into the ground. Now, more advanced option for these diagonal knees. Hover your heels off the ground. One more. Now, hands on the mat. And crunch, reverse lift, okay? 1, 2, 3, and it's a lift, not a swing. 3 more. 3, 2, 1. I'm gonna place my feet on the floor to start. 6, 5, now I'm gonna hover my feet. So my feet are about 1 inch to 2 inches off the ground. 2 more, just 2 more. Reverse curl. The only way to do that is if your low back is still lightly pressing into your mat. If you start to arch that spine off the ground or your neck, come back to the diagonal reach. I want you to put your feet back on the ground. That's not safe. So when I hover my feet, I'm still able to keep my low back lightly pressed into the ground. And it just takes practice. And I do these like all the time. So I've gotten used to them. And this is just another layer. Ready? Go. 6. All right, take it up. Move your mat, get up slowly. Last round, friends. Pump this baby up. I'm going to pick up the pace just a little bit, but remember, it's always controlled. Keep going. I need to fix this because I feel like I'm going to be strangled. Which I wouldn't want to happen right now because I need to work out. So I am picking up my pace, but see how I lower down into that squat? Watch the difference. I'm not doing that, okay? Control, squeeze, control, down, control. I maintain tension on the legs the entire time. So when I'm up here, I'm squeezing my buns and my thighs and my core. And I even have my shoulders tight. Halfway there, friends. Keep going. So I'm squeezing everything when I'm doing that curl. Even my shoulder blades are back because my posture is tall. So think about how many muscles you can engage. I can make this one exercise super easy, or I can make it a real challenge. When I come down with that bicep curl, watch. they stop right by my sides. That is forcing me to use my core, my shoulders, and my triceps. Okay? So this,
10 seconds.
don't swing it. I want you to have control each way, each motion, down, up, squeeze, and down. Okay. Whew. Loaded lunge with the row. Alternating right and left. Got this. Ready? Lower, row. Pull yourself up with your glutes and hamstrings. Posterior chain. Back of the body. Squeeze. Posterior chains are the muscles in the back of your body. From your heel all the way up. So this is a great exercise for all of those muscles. And I mean all of them. Your upper back, your traps, because they're helping with the muscle contraction. Your traps, your mid-back, all those muscles that are between the spine and the shoulder blades. The posterior shoulder. The side of your shoulder is really helping stabilize your movement. Stabilize that shoulder girdle. Your core is working. The muscles along your spine are working. Your glutes, the front of your thighs, your quadriceps, the back of your thighs, your hamstrings, your calves, everything. So this is a great exercise. And we want that squeeze. Squeeze. Make sure you're squeezing. Okay. Curtsy. And then squat with a press up. Ready? Hold this here. Ready? 1, 2, squat, up. I know those curtsies are wonderful. I feel them, friends. 1, 2. Especially after all the gardening projects I've been doing yesterday and today. Lugging around bags of dirt, rocks, mulch. Oh my gosh. Lots of stuff. But I'll tell you, I'm a lot stronger than I've been. And I'm able to do it all by myself, which is kind of cool.
Halfway there.
I want you to feel proud of what you can accomplish in your real life, okay? Your normal life. Not this workout life. That's something else, okay? This is part of it, but in your real life, when your workout is done, I want you to feel strong. And I want you to feel proud of what you can accomplish on a regular basis. So these are all things that we're aiming for, okay? That's why we do this, to have a better quality of life, to prolong our life, cut down on a lot of risks, you know, be able to enjoy more. Woo! Walk out, push up. Grab your mat. Walk out, push up. 7 or 8 hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Count anywhere from 6 to 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Come to your plank first. Then come to the push-up or hold your plank. Crunch, come down, bend your knees. You don't have to have straight legs. I don't have straight legs. I'm using my core and my legs to come up. I'm not using my back. So I come down, palms strong against the mat, press, come back, bend your knees. Once your hands are in front of your feet, slowly roll up through the core and the legs. Get into position, then execute the next move. Always finish out a move. So if something has 2, 3, 4 parts, execute each move. There's a start and a finish for each one. When I come out of that push-up, it's very important that I come up and I squeeze those triceps and chest. I have to squeeze on my way up. Ready? So I come down, I push and I squeeze, then I walk myself up. I don't want to miss that. Okay. 2 side squats, burpee. Woo! I'm going to hold 1 dumbbell for this. Single-legged side squat. You can do a few of these and then come down to a plank or do a burpee. 1. So these power circuits or full body circuits are just that. I'm not trying to put any emphasis on any one body part or 2. It's well-rounded. So I'm using muscles in the back, the chest, biceps, triceps, shoulders, lower body, core, and I'm using them throughout the workout. My plan is not to tire your legs out only in the beginning and then tire the arms out. I want you to go through the entire round, working your entire body throughout the blocks. So you may have a prime focus in one exercise and your stabilizer muscles, like your core and maybe your shoulders and biceps, and this one, like right here, my upper body's working if I hold my dumbbell like this. So if my emphasis is really lower body, core stabilizing, upper body stabilizing, but then we might switch it to something where the focus is upper body and then the leg is stabilizing. So entire hour, everything. Okay, double lunge, warrior 3. All right. I'm going to alternate legs. So, step back, lunge, pull, and lift. Sorry, the row is here. And then stand. Let's start over again. Lunge back, slowly come up, lean into warrior 3, row, and stand. Switch legs. Lunge. Come up and squeeze your butt. Release, lift, and row, and stand. Lunge. Come up, squeeze, warrior 3. Lunge. Come up and squeeze.
Halfway there.
And pull. I like this better. Lunge up, warrior 3, row. Squeeze that cheek. Down, up, and row. You can do it. You know you can do it. Just do your variation, okay? Sometimes I don't think I can do it, but I just tell myself I can. And then it just kind of happens. But I know you can. 1 more. Okay. Tricep and sumo squat. Woo! What a combo. Ready? Now you can also do over the head triceps. I'm going to do that with this one, just to kind of give my back a little bit of a rest. So I'm going to go here. Core is tight. My tailbone is just down. I'm not trying to flare my back like this. Tuck it under slightly. Hold your tummy in. And I'm just trying to point my tailbone down. My feet are pointing forward. Okay, so now let's switch and do some sumos. Ready? Pulse. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly come up. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and this is just another variation, okay? 1. Ready? 8, 7, 6, and I am coming up and down. I'm not staying right here, resting into my hip flexors. I want you coming up halfway and down, up. You gotta come up. One more. Side plank. Okay, friends. Last 2 exercises. Remember, you can be on the knee. Woo. We're making good time. Okay, I'm in a side plank. You can be on your knee, and you can tap and come up. We've already done this. So just remember, you can go on the knee. 1, 2, 3. Everything's in a nice line. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Switch. Oh, I can do this. Oh, I can do it. I am tired from today. I did a lot of stuff. But I can do it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The same number on each side. Okay, friends, all the way down. Woo. This time we're going to do 4 and 4. Ready? 4, 3, 2, 1. Diagonal crunch. Hands down. Hip lift. 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2. Lift, no swinging. 1, 4. Diagonal. 3, 2, 1. Ugh. Diagonal. 4, 3, 2, 1. Ugh. One more. Okay. All I want you to do is take your feet down, rest your legs down, wiggle your hips, okay? Take your feet wide. Now, let your shoulders rest on your mat. Okay, slowly look to one side. Light stretch of your neck. If you need to bend your knees here, that's fine. Go ahead. I'm just laying my legs out. And now look the other way. Back to the center. Now, I just want you to take your toes and point them in, roll them in. Take your toes and let them lay out to the sides. Take your toes, roll them back in. So your feet are like windshield wipers, okay? Toes in, toes out. What this does is it slightly rotates the femur, your long leg bone, with internal rotation and then externally rotating them. This is a really nice way to loosen up the hip flexors, the thighs, side of the legs. It's just a really nice way to kind of loosen things up and get a light stretch in that area. Good. Slowly bend one knee at a time. And now let's bring both knees back. And I'm just holding right behind my thighs. Low back stretch. It's okay for the tailbone to come up off the ground a little bit. And my knees are to the width of my shoulders, okay? So they're just to the width of my shoulders, and I'm just going to flex and point the feet. So if I were to put two fists, my knees are about 2 fists. They could be 3 fists, but I would say no more than that. Just keep them in front of your chest and shoulders. And I'll circle, and I'll just relax. And I'm just pulling back enough to feel like I'm getting a nice stretch in the glute area, in the low back, a little bit in the hamstrings. And relax. Cross one leg over, and then I want you to reach either here on the top of the shin and knee, or out to the side. Or you can weave through and hold right here. So this is fine too. So hold however you feel comfortable. Sometimes I'm more comfortable holding here. As long as your body is relaxed, you shouldn't be straining to hold your legs, okay? That's why I give you these variations. Hold the side of your thighs if that allows your neck and your shoulders to rest. No sense in stretching one part and straining the other. And switch. So this is a great stretch for the piriformis, and that is a deep muscle that runs in the gluteal area. And a lot of the times that gets so tight and can cause a lot of tension in the hips, in the buttocks, even the low back. So this is a great stretch for all of those muscles that are around that area. Right in through the hip, a little bit in the side of the leg, glute. That just feels really good. Okay, so now bring one knee in and extend your other one and let that leg relax down there. So that top of that thigh of that straight leg, the quadriceps and your hip flexors, that's a great way to stretch those muscles out. And this leg, I'm just pulling back because I can get a nice stretch here through the hamstring, right where it ties into the glute, and even a little bit in my low back. I feel a nice little low back stretch here. Now I'm just going to loosen up and just extend the leg a little bit more. And you should not feel like you have to do a Cirque du Soleil. So just stretch where you feel comfortable. You can even hold on to your pants. Or if you have a scarf or a belt, you can use that. And just relax. Bend your knee, lower down, and now let's switch. Nice stretch here. Let this leg stretch out and relax. Whenever you're doing lunges, squats, knees up, which is pretty much like all of our exercises, you know, those muscles can get very tight if you're not letting them cool down and lengthening them. So this is why these movements are so important. Good. Take the leg up,
And they start to affect our posture. They start to affect our movement, our gait, just how we're getting in and out of a chair, in and out of a car, when we're walking down the street, going up the stairs. I mean, all of these common movements, they will really start to affect your range of motion and how you're moving. So it's very important to take the time to do these things. Good, and relax. Okay, so let's do a nice spinal twist, hands on the floor, and just allow your knees to rock to the side and allow them to come down where they may. If you're a little stiff in your back, what I would say is grab a pillow and put a pillow on each side, okay? And let that pillow catch your legs, because then you don't have to worry about turning so much and trying to hold on. That's the last thing I want. Either roll up a towel and put it kind of like where the middle of your thigh would land, or just get a couch pillow, just something that will hold your legs. This is a great way to execute the stretch and feel nice lengthening here of the muscles along the spine, along the lateral hip, lateral side of the leg, even in the chest and shoulder, because I'm extending my arm out. My shoulder blades are on the ground. And this takes time. Okay, so not everybody is going to be able to lay down like this, but use props. Bring one knee, the other knee, and then I'll hold the ground, slowly swivel my knees over to the side, and then when I feel ready, I'll kind of like straighten out my body and lay my shoulder blades down. One side might be tighter than another. Maybe it's too much for you to hold for 30 seconds to a minute, but you can hold maybe for 12 to 15 seconds, switch, and then just repeat it on each side maybe 2 to 3 times. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. So you can rock and roll it up, or you can roll over onto your side and come up. And then I'm going to take a stand all the way so we can get the hip flexors and low back. So just kind of step it out, walk it out. Hands on the hips, and let's just do, oh, my favorite. I love these. Let's see who's still here. So I walk and hold it, right? Okay, I hope we had a great time, and let's go the other way. That feels really good. All of these things are just great for us, okay? Good. All right, so now let's take this leg back. Nice little calf stretch. That's all we want to do is just stretch. It shouldn't hurt. 4, 3, 2, 1, and just up and switch to the other side. Woo, I feel that calf. 4, 3, 2, 1. Come to the center. Let's round the spine. Lower the chin. Up and lift. Round the spine. Lower the chin. Tuck the tailbone under. Soften the knees. Up. One more time. So just round through. And up. Good. Okay, so take one arm across and open up that shoulder blade. And I'm just kind of leaning side to side. This feels really good on the hips. And I'll switch sides. I hope you enjoyed the workout today. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Come up. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be working out. And a lot of people think, that's not true. Yes, it is. I'm not one of those people who just gets up and says, I'm going to go for a run. It's just not me. It's not me. It's never been me. It will never be me. I love working out, whether it's in with people, like physically with people. Right now we're virtual, so I know that you're on the other end there, but I can still see you. So we're in a class, and I'm okay with this. So this is the way I work out. Know yourself. That's how you're going to work out. That's how you're going to get stronger, forward. This is how I overcome my obstacles, because I know I need to show up, I need to be ready, and I need to be strong. And I have to have something good and creative. And so this is what gets me to really work out and do my best. Interlace the fingers. So we kind of hold each other accountable here. And remember, all of the exercises can be done your way. I don't expect you to get to the ground and do push-ups the way I do them. You can do push-ups against a counter, against a wall. Hey, We all slip. We all like fumble. I am very clumsy, okay? In my real life, I really need to watch out where I'm going because I fall a lot. So you're going to lean up against a wall and catch yourself. Well, hey, if you can practice your push-ups, you're really going to strengthen that shoulder girdle, the chest, your triceps, and you're going to be able to catch yourself a lot better. You'll be stronger. If you do end up coming down to the ground, okay, you'll be able to push yourself up and get up, okay? Or you'll be able to help somebody get up. These are the things I'm talking about. It's not just about physique. It's not just about you feeling great, just about yourself. It's how much you can do in your regular life, how you can become stronger to help others, and just go about and do more in your own life and be independent. This is really what it's about. So I hope that I am helping. If you have any concerns, if you have any questions or any suggestions, please feel free to message me or just list them here, okay? Thanks so much for being here tonight. Please check out the schedule. We've got some fun stuff. Let's take a nice deep breath in. Up and down. And if you're just joining, go ahead and hit replay. Up and out. Woohoo! Thank you so much. It's great to see you.